Hey everyone, Pete here with the River Kings. A fun little video today all about charging arcs.
Whew! That water's cold, Jack!
So it's a miserable, rainy winter day in North Carolina. But Andrew and Naaman, being new to kayaking, are fired up, they want to learn, and they don't want to waste a minute. So we head on over to the Boiling Hole for a fun day of skill building, and any day kayaking is better than a day not kayaking. So hopefully near you there's a river like the North Fork of the Mayo here. On this river there's a little something for everyone looking to improve their whitewater skills from beginner to intermediate. A paddler can start here on this little bottom section of the river and progress into full-on Class 3 paddling with no problem. So Andrew and Naaman both learn very quickly, they're both motivated, and they're both willing to try just about anything. And the willingness to try is the most important part. So unsure of what we're going to be getting into today, we started out with a few little challenge moves and identified a few things to work on, and this first little feature was perfect for that. Working on a little edge control, boat angle control, learning how to ferry, learning how to target rapids. But what I realized they needed the most work on was learning how to charge through cross current to end up where they wanted to be. So today's video is all about how to develop a charging arc and how to stay on line through the rapid so that you end up in the exact place you want to be, because as we all know, boat placement is the goal. And that isn't just at the bottom or at the top, but your boat placement through the entire rapid must be maintained so that you can be at the place you want to be when you get to the bottom of the rapid. Dealing with the cross current can be very difficult for a newer boater because it does take a little bit of seat time, a little bit of experience to kind of figure out what they need to do to offset the forces of the current. Now this is somewhat of a complex topic because it involves a lot of different kayaking skills to make it go well. There's edge control, there's boat angle, there's stroke placement, stroke timing, what kind of stroke you're doing, what side of the boat you're placing the stroke on, how fast is the water going, how strong of a paddler are you. So as you can imagine, getting blown offline in rapids is a pretty common mistake that newer boaters and even more experienced boaters make, but it's probably one of the most important things is being able to quickly read the river and make an assessment on what you need to do to kind of balance your speed, your trajectory, the force of the water, all that to land in the place you want to be. And so that's what we got into today, and we spent 3 hours to go 1/4 of a mile on the river. And this is one of my favorite places that kind of encompasses all that. The guys are trying to hit an eddy on the left side of this rock, and you can see Andrew lining this up. He's trying to get right in there with the eddy. And then once we're all in the eddy, we ferry right back across to river left and attain back up and do it again. And they were having a little trouble getting to this little notch and then placing the correct strokes and doing it all in a dynamic fashion. And then they're also having a little trouble with the upstream ferry across that wave feature. And what they're learning is downstream and upstream ferry. They have to go across the current to get to the spot, going downstream, and then they have to go across the current to get back to the other side facing upstream. And this is all building to a bigger move just downriver at the Boiling Hole, where they'll do a downstream ferry to a fader booth off the Boiling Hole, something they've never tried before. But this is where it starts.
Much better. Drive hard. Oh, that was a bad stroke. Learning how not to blow your angle in a ferry. All kind of stuff. Hard, nope. Good.
And with Andrew and Naaman, they really learn at about the same pace and are comparable in skill level already. So they make a great pair to kind of buddy up and start this journey through kayaking together. And it's fun to watch them improve together. And you can see that from these clips after the repetition starts in, they really make some rapid improvement.
Oh man, where'd that come from? Bingo. Golden. Oh, Andrew, it's coming together. Good recovery. That was your best one yet. Oh, yeah.
And so now, armed with the actual skills needed to make the move, we head down here to the boiling hole. And I'll break down what they're trying to do, and then we can watch the progress as they both work through this move, improving each time. So we're going to actually start way over here on river right of the move, and then we want to end up way over here, river left of the main flow. Now there's obviously a ton of ways to run this rapid, and this is what we would call the hero line for this rapid. In other words, we're going to get the most out of it and make it as difficult as possible. And most of that difficulty is going to be found in this obvious push of water you're going to get as the main flume just canalizes most of the water at a pretty high rate of speed, and you simply just can't go in a straight line and get from A to B. This is actually not a super difficult move, but it does require you to do it correctly. If you undershoot your arc, you're going to be washed down the flume short of the fader booth on the left side. If you overshoot it, you're going to either hit the shallow rocks or land in the eddy, stall out, or potentially go over the falls backwards. And that's where our charging arc comes into play. Basically, what we're looking to do is follow the left side of that channel, bust through that little wave seam, and then launch off the fader booth, facing river left, and thus avoiding the hole and landing in the green water eddy below. In the following clips, what you'll see is the guys repeatedly underestimating the push, or maybe putting an improper stroke that turns their boat angle last minute. But in most cases, they were falling short of that river left side of that rock, and they were doing straight booths in various places on that booth, but never really getting the fader booth. But then it all came together. So here's my point of view, running the rapid as I'm hoping they will. Winter on the left side of this flow. My boat angle is a little left of the sand, and that's to counteract the force of the water pushing it right. I'm also taking heavier strokes on the right side of my boat, therefore not letting my angle get blown downstream, bust through that seam, and then boof into that green water eddy, avoiding the hole, avoiding the flow. The idea is that this may be a move required of us on a harder river later, and so we're practicing being able to do that with no consequence now.
Right strokes, right. Yeah, keep going right. Keep going. Right strokes, right, go, 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 right. Keep going. Keep going. Good. Go, 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 go. Right, 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 right. No. Right, right, right. Right, keep going, keep going.
So what I noticed is that both of them were improving the same each time, and both of them kept making the same mistakes together each time. It led me to believe that it was something in the way I was describing the mission to them. So we all got out and talked our way through the rapid one more time to make sure everyone was on the same page and kind of reset what we're trying to do. And the results speak for themselves. Sometimes you just have to find a better way to say it.
Yeah. So for me, that rock's almost in the way.
Okay.
So when I come, I'm in that minute. When I get right above this stuff, I'm still like 6-7 feet away because I'm on the edge of the current. I'm setting my angle for where I'm sitting here.
Okay.
So the boat angle is going to be important to where your boat goes. Y'all are kind of just, I think when you get there, you're like trying to think about time and strokes and all that edges and everything that's working together. And so you're hitting this, but when you hit this, you have no speed to get through that. Boat angle should be like where you're sitting. You should be aiming for like that rock. And right stroke, right stroke, right stroke until you touch that. One last right stroke to get through it. And then you have all the time in the world to just time your boot stroke from there. Y'all are going like into that, into the crevasse of death.
I was like right here, I'm like, trying to time up the stroke.
Yep. Starts pulling you. You'll hit that aimed right for that cave back there. And then that right stroke on the lip and you're golden. This is the easy part. So in your mind, this is the hard part because you have the crux of the move is this. Once you bust that, you're out of the flow and you're in control again. You have no choice when you're in there but to match energy to get out of there. Here all day, this is your territory. So bust through that and then finish the move. So you want to be aiming, stay in the flow, left edge of the flow, and then you see this hard flow. As soon as you start getting there, right stroke, and they'll start sweeping you. I mean, your bow should hit like right there, and it'll start washing you. Then you're set. A lot of people would do what y'all have done today, and it's a complete success. But what's your goal? To go over the ledge and survive it upright? You have done that. So give yourself a clap for that. Y'all haven't flipped. Everything's happening. You're saving all the things you mess up, and it's not terrible. But if you stay with it, as annoying as it is to keep going back up, do it this way. The concentration is left side of the flow. I'm getting to the main tongue. All right strokes. Boat angle to here, between you and that rock. Looking with your eyes. You should be boat angling like this. You should be paddling, looking at the flow. And when you're looking at that white foam, it should be off to your right. This should be to your right with your boat angles. You're coming through there. Right stroke, right stroke, right stroke. Your bow's gonna come around. You're gonna bust through this white seam. When you do that, look up where you wanna grab the ledge.
Where are you gonna watch from? You can watch from right here so you can tell us we're blowing.
Yeah, let me do it from here. I can film you. That way you can see it later in the video. Oh yeah! What's so hard about that? That was easy. 10 out of 10. Nice. Talking about? Y'all made that look easy. I guess it was my fault the whole time. We gotta take it up a level.
Do it. Let me know when you're ready.
So today's activities on the boiling hole were a perfect intro into boat placement through your charging arc and everything that goes into it. A little bit more complicated than some of the easier singular skills or ideas or concepts. But when you start putting all this together, you can really start getting where you want to be on the river. And later on, these will be required of you to do it safely. So kudos to Andrew and Naaman for both the tremendous progress they made, as well as volunteering to be those guys in a video, learning how to kayak. It's not always easy. Whitewater kayaking has a steep learning curve, but when it all comes together, it is so rewarding and definitely worth the effort. So stick with it, make the most out of every run, and don't be afraid to stay somewhere until you get it right. I'm Pete with the River Kings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the river.